It's a very fine line between admiration and envy. And a lot of times, admiration can turn into envy. I want to point out that admiring people is a really good skill, okay? When you can admire someone and be inspired by someone, that shows that you're confident. That shows that you're securing yourself. That means that you don't have to be jealous or intimidated by another person, and you can be genuinely happy for other people and their success. When someone's insecure or unsure about who they are and what they stand for, a lot of times you'll notice that the admiration will turn into envy, okay? And you got to be careful because it's going to happen in your life, these things, okay? These instances where someone you were close with that used to admire you, their admiration turns into envy. And like I said, to be able to admire people and be inspired by people openly, especially, takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of self-awareness. It takes a lot of confidence. The people who are going to let their admiration turn into jealousy or envy, these people are going to be very insecure. These people are going to be not happy with where their life is going or where their life is, where their life turned out, whatever the case may be. And they're going to be intimidated by the things that they admire about you. And a lot of times people will admire beautiful things about you when they first meet you or when you first allow them into your life. And for a certain amount of time, people can keep that up. But what happens a lot of times is that when you're succeeding, when you're progressing, when you're growing in life, you kind of are like a mirror to everyone around you in your life, right? It's like, think about how maybe you never met somebody who's a billionaire, right? And then one day you find out that Susana from fourth grade, who grew up in Highland Park like I did, she's the fucking billionaire. And now everyone's talking about Susana. Oh my God, she's a billionaire. Can you believe it? The first billionaire from our school, whatever. Now everyone's kind of gonna have like a mirror facing towards them, and everyone's gonna be like, damn, what does Susana do with her life? This is gonna be the reaction. They're either gonna be like that, oh my God, she's doing so good, I'm so happy for her, wow, if she could do it and she came from Highland Park like I did, we went to school together, maybe I can become a billionaire. That's going to be one reaction. The other reaction is going to be like, Susana, oh, she always thought she was all that. She probably got lucky. It's just because she was pretty. She probably slept her way to the top. Oh, Susana, it's because she left Highland Park and never came back. She forgot where she's from. It's either going to be this reaction or that reaction. Like, that's it. And you know why people react like that? Because it's a mirror. Now, everyone who grew up with Susana and went to the same school with her in Highland Park is now like, damn, like, I could have done that with my life. Like, that's crazy. She did that, And so it's either going to make you excited and inspired, like I'm saying, or it's going to make you intimidated and jealous. Like, fuck her, like, and a lot of people struggle with that. And I'm just using becoming a billionaire as like an extreme example, but this can happen when people accomplish anything. This can be if you are overweight and all your friends are overweight, and then you lose 50 pounds and you're back to 130 pounds and you look fucking great. Now, your friends who are still overweight, they might now you're the mirror because you used to be big like them and now you're not. So now they're looking at you because you were once the same as them. Now they're seeing you hot and thin and in shape and healthy, and they might feel insecure. Half of your friends are going to be like, damn, good for you, girl. You look great. How did you do it? Oh my God, hook me up with your personal trainer. Show me your diet. And the other half is going to be like, oh, she thinks she's all good now. Look at her now. She's all bony. Oh, like men don't like that. and she thinks she's all good, like, and you're gonna stop hearing from them. They're not gonna be inviting you places. They're gonna make slick comments when they're with you. Oh, you look a little too skinny, ha 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 ha, like, you know, like throwing kind of shade, like in a playful, joking way when it's not joking and it's not funny. And it could be like anything that you're leveling up in life, some people are going to admire you for it and be happy for you. And the other half, maybe not the other half, but a small fraction is going to be the haters. Those people are called haters, okay? They're jealous, they're envious. And this can happen in any area of success. When you get a promotion, you're holding up the mirror to your coworkers. When you finally get in a secure relationship, you're holding up the mirror to everybody else in your life who is in a relationship and is not in a relationship. And everyone, we all compare ourselves to each other, at least a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay to compare yourself, because when people around you are leveling up, it's good. Then you're going to, if you're secure and confident in yourself, you're going to be like, damn, I think I need to step it up a little bit. Like, I'm kind of getting left behind and I see all these amazing things happening for my friends. I want to be a part of that, you know? That's why it's good. It's okay to compare yourself. It's okay to be inspired by people, you know? But a lot of times that can turn into people envying you. Like I said, you're either going to be the admirer or the hater. Like, that's it. And I want to remind you guys that when this happens, this progression of or it's not even progression, because it's not progress, digression, I think is the word. When it happens when someone that you know, and especially someone that you're close to, this could be a family member, this could be a friend, this could even be your partner, your lover, this could be a business partner. When it turns from admiration into envy, sometimes it's a slow process. Sometimes it's not like from day to night. You know, I've known this person for 1 month and now I see their true intentions. You know, like when you realize somebody's a snake and jealous of you after a month, you got lucky. And good for you, because your spidey senses are tingling and you stay in touch with that intuition, okay? I love that for you. But sometimes it's going to be like a slow burn. And it's going to be really hard for you to admit that your sister or your best friend or your husband or your whoever is jealous of you and envious of you. And you don't want to believe it, because that's a really shitty thing to happen, you know? When somebody that you love and trust, when you realize they're actually a hater when they used to be an admirer, a supporter, a partner, you know? That's a really shitty feeling. But it's part of life, my friends. And that's the reason I'm talking about it, because it's a really, really important, vital, essential skill to be able to admit to yourself when someone has changed from an admirer, a supporter, to a fucking hater and an envious, jealous person that should not be in your life anymore. And the reason you need to get good at that is because you need to cut these people out. You need to cut them out. You got to look for the red flags. One thing I've noticed about some of these people is like they want to be you, right? And they don't even know they want to be you, but they want everything about you. They want the way you look. They want your sense of humor. They want your love relationship. They want your career. They want your car. They want your hair. Like, whatever. Like, they'll start copying you. They'll start copying. They'll copy the way you dress. They'll copy the drink that you order. They'll copy where your dream vacation is. They'll copy whatever. Like, they'll copy just different things about you, okay? And then when you call them out on it, maybe not like, oh, you're copying me. Like, I'm not talking about that. Like, if you be like, oh, I saw you went to the bar, XYZ bar, the one that I had posted on my story a few weeks ago. It's really nice, right? And you're just thinking like you're starting conversation, and they're like, oh, I didn't go there because you posted on your story. I didn't even see your story post. But you know they saw your story post. And you've posted it a few times. Or like, if there's a dress that someone got that looks exactly like the dress that you wore the other day. Oh, that's a nice dress. It reminds me of that dress that I was wearing the other day. What dress? I didn't see your dress. I don't know what you're talking about. But it's like, you commented my Instagram post about that dress, and I know it looks exactly like my dress. Like, and you're not even gonna acknowledge that it looks like my dress. Like, maybe they could have said, oh yeah, I mean, I could see what you're saying. Like, it does kind of look like that, but that's not the reason I got it. You know, like there could always be like some kind of like back thing like that, right? Sometimes things just happen. But if there's a pattern of this going on, like the point being, if there's a pattern that this is going on, something's up. Something's up. If you're constantly seeing people copying things you're doing and then denying it when you call them out on it or when someone calls them out on it, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. And obviously we're all inspired by each other, right? We're inspired by the artists we listen to. We're inspired by the people we surround ourselves with. We're inspired by the books we read, etc., etc. Inspired by is a great thing, but again, that's like how I've been saying throughout this video. When you're able to admit that you're inspired by someone, that comes from a place of security. But when you cannot admit that you're inspired by someone and you get defensive and weird about it, and there's a pattern of you clearly copying all these things that I'm doing and acting like you're not, it's kind of weird. And it's weird because it's a red flag. Okay? So if you see somebody copying everything you're doing and denying it, definitely like red flag behavior. Another thing I've noticed is like when someone used to be an admirer but is now a hater, they're gonna start to not like things about you that they used to like. Like, let's say for example, like my fashion. Like, obviously not today, I'm super casual today, but you know, in general, I dress pretty fucking loud. Like in my real life, this is how I dress, like so boring, but online I dress pretty fucking loud, right? Because that's what people like. So let's just say I was going out with somebody, and when we first started going out, they loved my fashion. Oh, I love how you dress. Oh, I never know what to expect from you. Always keep me guessing. I love how you look different all the time. Oh, you know, my friend, he didn't even realize I was you. That when we went to the house again, he was like, oh, who's that new girl? And I was like, it's her. You know, like whatever. Like admiring the fact that I dress kind of loud, right? But then if time goes on and all of a sudden my man's is like complaining about my fashion. Oh, why do you dress so loud? Can't you just have like a chill day? You're getting older. Maybe you should dress a little more conservative. You know, like when they start throwing jabs like that, it's like, wait a minute. You liked my fashion before and now you're calling me out on it, talking shit? What the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Like, that's a red flag. And again, it's a lot of times these things will happen when the admiration turns to envy. Your romantic partner can most definitely be jealous of you, my friends. Don't ever think, even if it's like guy, girl, okay? A man can be jealous of a woman. I know guys are always, oh, girls are so jealous, girls are so jealous. Straight guys think that girls are so jealous because you guys only date girls. But if you dated guys, you would know guys are the same, okay? They're the fucking same. And this could happen with friends too. Like something like I noticed, like sometimes I've noticed when people, like when it turns, this is more like on a friendship level or like a family, you know, or even business. Like if you'll notice somebody keep disagreeing with what you want, and this could be simple things like going to dinner. Let's say you're with a group of friends and everyone's like, oh, where should we go eat? Oh, I don't know. And then I say, oh, I want to go to the ABC restaurant. I just heard about it. It looks really fucking good. And then that person will be like, no, not that place though. I don't want to go there. And it's like, okay, well, nobody knew where to go. And I suggested that place, but you just don't want to go where I want to go. It's kind of weird, you know? Or let's say like a movie. We're going to go to a movie, family movie night. And then everyone, oh, what movie should we see? I don't know. And then I recommend a movie. And then my brother or whatever is like, oh, not that movie though. Not that movie. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, I had a suggestion. Nobody else had a suggestion. But you still want to go where I want to go. That's kind of weird. And again, if somebody's watching this and then they might be like, oh, maybe that person just didn't agree. Didn't want to do that. Maybe they just didn't want to eat there. Maybe they just didn't want to see that movie. Okay, yeah. not saying that every time someone disagrees with you, it means that they hate you. What I'm saying is, if you notice a pattern of this happening all the time, you gotta take a note. And you gotta be like, this person just keeps disagreeing with everything I'm saying. Like, take notice of that, okay? Another thing I've noticed is people talking over me, okay? One thing I've noticed about when the admiration and the love turns into envy and jealousy, people will start talking over you, literally talking over you. Or like if you're having a conversation with 5 people and you notice that this one person who you suspect doesn't like you anymore is constantly they're talking and talking and talking, and whenever everybody else talks, they let them talk, but then when you talk, all of a sudden they have something to say and they talk over you. And then you're like, okay, maybe we're really excited about that thought. Let me wait to go into the conversation again. And they just keep interrupting you over and over, and it becomes a consistent thing that you notice is going on all the time, okay? And they don't do it to other people. That's another thing to take note of. This person does not give a fuck what you have to say. That's why that's going on. They don't want you to feel like you have any say-so in anything. They want to minimize you. They want to shut you up. They want you to put you in your place. I'm the fucking boss. You can't talk when I'm talking. Only my thoughts matter. You shouldn't want to be around people like that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said again, if it's only happened one time or, once every few months, it's not a big deal. But if this is happening consistently with the same person, it's something to think about. And the video's already getting long, so I'm going to cut it off pretty soon. But this is just something that's really important to learn in life. You got to be able to realize when people switch up and when their love and admiration has turned into envy and jealousy and hatred. Okay? So, point being, keep your eyes peeled. People change, and somebody who is insecure and doesn't love themselves will never be able to be around people who are doing well for themselves, because it makes them feel insecure. It makes them feel inferior. Even if you're not doing anything to make that person feel like that, sometimes people will project their insecurities and the self-hate that they have for themselves. They put that hatred on you. And you don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. You should never feel bad about your success. You should never feel bad about your growth. You should never feel bad about your beauty. You should never feel bad about losing weight. You shouldn't feel bad about making more money, about your promotion, about being happy. You should never feel bad that you are taking control of your mental health. Okay? That's a mirror. That's a mirror that goes up. When you start growing mentally, when you start healing yourself spiritually and emotionally, when you start unpacking that childhood trauma and becoming a better person, like on a spiritual, emotional level, it's a mirror. You're holding up a mirror, and a lot of people are not ready to face that mirror because they're not ready to dive deep and face their demons like you are. Okay? And you need to stay far, far away from these people, because people will rob you of your progress. They will rob you of your spirit. They will rob you of your joy. They will take advantage. They will drain you. And like I said at the beginning, a lot of this is unconscious. A lot of people do not realize that they're jealous of you. They don't. They really don't. And they can't figure out why they feel so weird around you. Why they love you, but you just make them so angry. It's because they're insecure. All right, guys. Be careful with the company you keep. Have a good one.